Hello and welcome to Ketrick Farms. Today, I'm going to show you how easy it is to set up a dedicated server for Farming Simulator 22 with GPORTAL. I've been using GPORTAL to host all of the Ketrick Farms community and member servers for more than a year now and have recently become a GPORTAL partner. So make sure to use the link in the description below the video to get a 5% discount when setting up your own game server for Farming Simulator or any of the 90 different games GPORTAL offers. Let's dive into creating a server for Farming Simulator 22 by selecting the option that matches your gaming platform. And don't worry, no matter which option you pick here, you'll be able to configure your server for cross-platform play. Step 1 of the setup process is to create your game cloud. If you're a GPORTAL customer already, I'll cover how to use your existing game cloud to set up a new server in just a moment. First, we need to select how many slots we'd like for our server. This can be anywhere from 4 to 16 players. Slots determine how many players can be connected to the server at the same time. We then need to select how long we'd like to run the server for, keeping in mind that you'll receive a 10, 15, or 20% discount for picking a duration of 90, 180, or 365 days. Then we need to pick from the available locations where we'd like our server to be hosted. Make sure to think about where the players will be connecting from and pick a nearby location to ensure optimal latency. Once you've selected all 3 of these options, you can hit continue. Here, you'll be able to register as a new user with GPORTAL using any of their available single sign-on options or creating a new account with an email address. If you're an existing customer, you can log in here and continue with setting up a new game cloud through this registration process, or you can simply log into your account and navigate to your game cloud dashboard and do the setup from here. You'll be able to use any existing slots that you already have available to add a new server for Farming Simulator 22. And remember, if you need more slots in a game cloud, you can simply edit the game cloud and add additional slots as needed. Make sure to pay attention to the duration, as making any changes to the game cloud will update this as well. But don't worry, if you have time remaining in your current configuration, you will be provided with a credit towards your new configuration. And then in step 3, you simply need to enter your payment method and confirm your order. In my case, I already have an account with a payment method saved, so I'm going to be able to use that if I want. However, as you can see here, we have the option to pay with credit card, with PayPal, with the PaySafe card, or if you have a balance with GPORTAL, you're going to be able to pay with that existing balance. New servers do take a moment to be allocated, so if you click into this server right away and receive an error, give it a couple of minutes and come back and try again. Upon entering your new server, it will be offline. This is to give you an opportunity to update the settings before you bring it online. When a server is offline, you're also able to adjust the slot count if you have available slots in your game cloud. So if you're running multiple servers and you decide to get rid of one, you can reallocate those slots to another server that you already have set up. Before we bring our server online so that we can finish configuring the game, I always like to come over to the administration section and make sure that we have all of our values here configured how we want them. First, we have the auto update setting, and this is useful depending on how you like to play the game, whether or not you'd like to have the game server automatically update when a new game update comes out. I always like to be running on the latest and greatest, but that's really up to you. Next up, we can set restart schedules. So you're able to come in here and set daily, weekly, or monthly restart schedules for your server. Select what time of the day you'd like that restart to happen. Give it a description such as daily reboot and hit save. Now, I have this restart schedule put in here, which will cause my server to restart daily at midnight Eastern Standard Time. You're able to create multiple restart schedules if you'd like, and you can also remove an old schedule if it's unneeded. GPORTAL also offers the ability to have your dedicated servers backed up. Backups of your cloud will be saved for 28 days, and you have 50 gigabytes of space available for backups. This is a backup of your entire GPORTAL server configuration and will include all of the items on the server itself. Usually, after setting up everything on my server, running it and logging in for the first time, I like to come back and create a backup at that point in time, so that if anything happens after I've set up my server, I have a quick snapshot to get back to a known working configuration. Lastly, we have the permissions area where if you have another GPORTAL user that you'd like to give access to this server, you're able to configure those permissions here. So with all of the GPORTAL configuration done, I'm going to go ahead and bring our server online. This can take just a moment, but Once it's online here, you're going to see a green indicator and your web interface button should pop up. We're going to go ahead and click the Farming Simulator 2022 web interface button to go into configuring our server. Server configuration in Farming Simulator is quite easy. First, we need to provide it with a name. This is what's going to show up in the server list when players are trying to join your server. Next, you'll need to set an administrator password. This is the password that somebody who's already logged into the game will be able to enter in-game to gain administrative access. This will be necessary for things like setting up new farms and granting other players farm manager or other permissions. Depending on how you want to configure your server, you're also able to set a game password. If you fill something into this box, users will be required to enter a password in order to join this server. So if you'd like your server to be open to anybody in the giant server list, you can leave this blank, but for most users, you're probably going to want to set a password here to control who has access to your server. You're able to select from a list of the 20 save game slots, just like in single player. With a new server, all of these are going to be empty. In just a moment, I'll show how you can upload an existing save game to your dedicated server into one of these slots. Since Farming Simulator 22 is new right now, we only have the ability to pick from the 3 base game maps at the moment. As additional maps become available, you'll be able to upload that using the mods interface and then select any uploaded mod maps from this dropdown. We'll cover adding mods to your server in just a moment. You also need to select what career mode you're going to start with. In multiplayer, Farm Manager and Start from Scratch are the only options. New Farmer mode is not available. Your slot count has already been configured by GPORTAL when creating the server, and so you're unable to change it in this interface. You're able to set the game language that the server is going to run in, as well as how often the save interval should be in the game. I generally like to set this down to about 15 minutes. That way, if there is some kind of an issue and the server stops for any reason, you've not lost more than 15 minutes of game time. Your web API interval is how often the API is going to update. If you have something like a Discord bot or other integration into the Giants web API, I won't be covering those details in this tutorial. However, for those that are Ketrick Farms community members, you're familiar with the Discord bot that we have on our multiplayer servers. This is the mechanism that we use to do that. Next up, we have pause game if empty. If you'd like the game to pause when nobody is on the server, leave this at instantly. Otherwise, select no and allow your server to continue running even when nobody is connected. CrossPlay allowed is a new feature in Farming Simulator 22. This checkbox will determine whether or not users from Xbox, console, and PC will be able to play together. Stadia only allows crossplay with PC. Stadia users and console users will not be able to play together. Once you've entered all of your settings, don't forget to hit the save button. Before we start our server, we're going to cover how to upload a save game and add mods. If you have an existing save game that you would like to upload to your server, simply click the Save Games button, and then on this page, you're able to select which save game slot you would like to upload that game to. You can optionally provide a save game name that'll be displayed, and then you can upload a zip file of your save game from your local PC. Remember when zipping up your save game to not zip the folder itself, but rather go into the folder, select all of the files that are in that folder, right click on it, and create a zip from those files. You're then able to upload this zip file to the server. Once the file has been uploaded, you'll be able to see which slot it's in, slot 1, what the save name is, what map that save is for, how much money the main farm has in that save, how long it's been played, and what difficulty it's at. You're also able to download the multiplayer games, so if you've been playing on the multiplayer server for a while and you'd like to have that game on your local PC, you can download a copy of that zip file. You're also able to delete saved slots to make room for uploading new games. To install mods on your server, simply click the mods menu option up here at the top of the screen. And if you're running a cross-play server, you're going to be able to select from the mods available from the in-game mod hub. You can see here, we already have a list of mods available on the in-game mod hub. You can simply hit the download button here, and this will download the mod to your server. As it progresses here, you can see the percentage updating. If you're not setting up a crossplay server and just running a PC server for your users, you're able to upload any mods that you want. However, the maximum size for a single mod is capped at 1.71 gigabytes. If you'd like to upload a mod that is bigger than that, say once we get to having those really large 4x or 16x maps, you'll need to use FTP to put that mod on the the server. Once a mod has been downloaded to the server, you can come back to the home page here and scroll down and see the list of all mods that are currently on the server, and then select that mod and hit activate. Active mods shows the list of mods that are currently available and turned on for your server. Once you've selected the mods that you want to have on your server and you've selected your saved game slot as appropriate, you're then able to click the start button to start up your server. Once your server is started, you'll be presented with the resource monitor view here, which will show you the current CPU utilization over the last 30 minutes, your current RAM utilization, how much of your hard disk space you're using, the uptime of your server, as well as how many players have been connected to that server out of the total allocated slots in the last 24 hours. If you need to make configuration changes to your server, you can click the stop button, or if you simply want to restart your server, you're able to do that here. Now that our server is up and running, we're going to launch Farming Simulator 22, come into multiplayer, join game, and then once the server list is up, you're able to filter by the name that you entered for your server to make it easier to find in the list. In our case, Garrett Farms. Double clicking on the server will bring up the enter password screen if you set one up for the server. Simply enter the password and then click start. And just like that, you'll be off to playing multiplayer Farming Simulator 22. Hopefully you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you found it useful, hit that like button. And don't forget to use the link in the description of this video to get 5% off on your GPORTAL server configuration. That's all for today. Garrett out.